Hello and welcome to another episode of Gig and Tell podcast. I'm Tash.
I'm Phil.
And today we thought we'd talk about, we've seen a couple of bands recently, so Mouth Culture and the Subways, who are kind of along the same similar genre line, so we thought it would be good to put those together. They were both very small gigs in Birmingham, so we thought we'll just talk about them both in the same episode. So we saw Mouth Culture first. When was that? It was November. Was it November still?
Well, we've only just started November. That was
Or was
October.
it October still? You say we've only just started November.
Well,
We're halfway
it's
through.
Halfway through. No, I'm sure it was because I was still ill at Mouth Culture.
Yes.
It was the 23rd of October.
23rd of October. It was at the Asylum in Birmingham, which is also Uproar, if you know the club Uproar in Birmingham.
It was my first time seeing a gig there.
It was my first time seeing a gig there, but I have been there before for like club nights. It's a really nice venue. I really like it in Uproar, the Asylum. We saw a couple of supports as well for them, which I didn't expect. I felt like we got there quite late or later than we wanted to.
It was a rush.
But we still saw like two supports. And they were both very good, very, very pop punk supports. I can't remember the names of either of them, can you?
I can't remember.
I don't think I wrote them down either, but Mouth Culture themselves were brilliant. We have seen them before.
We saw them very, very briefly at Slam Dunk.
Mm-hmm.
We did not see much of them because the stage they were playing had some delays throughout the day, so they were late coming on, and we wanted to catch Hot Mulligan.
Yes.
So, because there was announcements and stuff for Mouth Culture touring all around Slam Dunk, I said it's fine. We'll go see Hot Mulligan. Like as long as I see the one song, and it was like the second song they played, Dead in Love. I was like, as long as I get to see them play Dead in Love, I don't mind. And it was like the second song they played, so we watched them play the first couple of songs, and then we went to see Hot Mulligan.
Yes. I was very sad because timing-wise, we should have been able... Like, no one really overlapped of who we wanted to see, other than Mouth Culture, and Hot Mulligan did overlap a little bit towards the end of Mouth Culture for Hot Mulligan.
But not enough to be, like, upset by it.
Yeah. But then, obviously, Mouth Culture were really late coming out because something happened with the set times and the stage and stuff. So, unfortunately, like Phil said, we did only see a couple, which was sad. But
it did mean we got to see No Offence a little bit.
Yes, it did mean we got to see
while
No
we were
Offence.
waiting for Mouth Culture, because we had decided not to see No Offence, I think, because it just didn't fit in where we wanted it to, really. So when we realised it was not Mouth Culture on the stage when we got there, and we heard people talk, because also they make the announcements on like Twitter and stuff, and you've got no signal.
No signal.
I don't know about
at all.
anyone else, but we are on Tesco Mobile. There's no signal. As soon as you're in a crowd of more than 3 people, there is no signal. So we couldn't see that announcement, but we heard someone say something about delay. So we were like, okay, let's go see Noah for a little bit.
Because I like a couple of Noah songs, but I feel like I'm just a little bit too old. 5 years ago, I think I'd have been all over him, but I think he feels a little bit young in his music for me. But there are a couple that I like that I had saved. So as soon as we found out that Mouth Culture were going to be late on stage, I was like, I would quite like to go and see even just the start of Noah's set, and I'm so glad I did because it was so good. I feel like again we should do a whole episode on Slam Dunk.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm really glad we caught him because like I think listening to his music, whenever I've tried to listen to his music, I've been a bit like it's a bit like I loved it when I was 15, maybe a bit cringe now, but live he was really good.
I agree, he was so good. I found a newfound respect and love for him, and his like when we saw him live, and I think that his set was brilliant. His personality really shone through his performance. I really enjoyed him. Yeah. But yeah, back to Mouth Culture, sorry. The set was amazing. There wasn't any that they didn't play that I wanted them to, I don't think. I love all of their songs. They played a couple of new ones. I think they played one new one that's not out. Yeah, it is out now, but it wasn't out at the time. And then they played Picking Wings Off of Butterflies, and they just released that a couple of weeks before. So that was good to see. And yeah, I really enjoyed, because at Slam Dunk I didn't know Mouth Culture really. I'd listened to a couple of songs because you'd said like they're playing and they're really good at Slam Dunk, and I was like, I'll listen to a couple, and I was like, yeah, I do really like them, but I hadn't had enough time at that point to learn the songs or like properly delve into them. So after Slam Dunk, when we saw them perform, I was like, no, I love these, they're so good. I went away and listened to them, and I am obsessed. Like, I think they're up there with one of my favourite bands this year. So when we saw them in Birmingham, I knew a lot more songs than I would have known when we went to Slam Dunk, and it was so good, so worth it. The tickets were only cheap. Were they about 25 quid for this Mouth Culture? If that.
They weren't a lot at all, the Mouth Culture ones.
They were really, really good, and they have a really good stage presence. I really felt the sound was strong, the sound was strong in terms of it was powerful. However, there was that screeching, what do you call it, feedback?
Yeah.
There was feedback like you wouldn't know it. Like, it was, thank you. Yeah, the feedback was horrendous for the start of the show.
Yeah, there was something going on with the sound at the start, I think.
It was so loud.
It was a very good show, though. They have a very good, like... Don't get me wrong, like, I don't know any of their names, but the singer's stage presence gives massive douchebag vibes. And I don't know if that's, like... I know a lot of people have, like, a character. Like, Matty Healy's always said, like, who he is on stage is an act. It's not him.
Yeah.
It's for the show.
It's a character.
It could be that.
Yeah.
It very well could be that. But yeah, like his stage presence is very like cocky.
He gave cocky.
Yeah, very someone that I would not actually get along with.
Yeah, but great to watch on stage.
But yeah, an incredible vibe to watch for sure. So if it is a stage presence, fair enough.
Yeah, definitely. They were really enjoyable to watch, and the set was long. It was hard. It was people moshed, didn't they? Yeah, they did.
Yeah,
they did.
Yeah, they did. We had a group of people in front of us that had just bought a round, so they had got 4 freshly poured pints.
Yeah.
Just as the pit opened up.
Yeah, it was rough.
And they got thrown back, and they, you hold your drinks up. Yeah. So we all just kind of got soaked.
They apologised profusely.
They did. To be like, it's not their fault that they bought a round just before the pit opened up, because we were a good few songs in at that point.
Yeah, people didn't start moshing sort of
early,
6,
like
7 songs in, I would say.
We were quite a way into the show before that started, so it kind of, like, it wouldn't have shocked me if that happened straight away, but it kind of shocked me that we'd got so far in before that happened.
Yeah, everyone was quite still before that, really.
Yeah, and whatever song it was that they were playing, it just, like, triggered something, and it just... We were at the back all of a sudden, crushed at the back with all the non-moshers. So that was just unfortunate timing on that part. I feel like I got covered with a lot of liquids at that show, including Mouth Culture's water that he threw across the crowd.
We had the bottle land right at our feet, but Phil had the water land all over her.
In my mouth and everything, to be fair. I, as a germaphobe, was not impressed, but... to be fair, there was someone in front that had tried to catch it, and if they hadn't knocked it that little bit, it would have hit me square in the face, and I would not have had the reaction time to have moved or knocked it away. Like, I saw it coming directly at me, and I accepted my fate, but because someone tried to catch it, they knocked it so that it fell just before it got to me.
Yeah.
But that would have hit me square in the face. Yeah, so I shared a Mouth Culture with Mouth Culture.
I love
it. That was my story of the night.
I love that. And you know what? I really wish that I'd have got a set list from that gig, because I really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it. That's the kind of gig that I like to get set lists from. There was only one song that they didn't play, actually, that I did want to see, which is Catch You Tomorrow Sunshine, which I didn't expect them to play because it's a slow one. So I didn't expect them to play that. But that is the only one that, like, is up there with my top 5 Mouth Culture songs that they didn't play.
That's a good point, actually. They are one of the few bands that I feel like I've seen that didn't do a slow section. I feel like a lot of bands will have, like, halfway through, a bit of a slower section, give your voice a bit of a rest, give the drummer a bit of a rest.
I did one. I can't think of how it goes, but it's... I can't think of the title, sorry, but it's the one that goes, "Hello, tell me how your day goes." And and it's a bit slower. But then it kicks in and it goes, "Got this pretty little place I wanna."
Yeah, so it's the start of a
ya."
song. Like normally there's
Yeah.
like a section where they'll do 2 or 3
Yeah.
slower ones.
They
just to
did. It
chill.
was slow, but like deep. But it's like a slower one. But Catch You Tomorrow, Sunshine's like a pretty little tinkly one, which they didn't play, and I didn't expect them to. But it's the only one that they didn't play that I absolutely love. So I can't really complain. But they were like, honestly, their whole like they don't have much of a set because they're only small.
And they're a bit more of a grungy vibe as well, aren't they? So a lot of them don't really... Like, a grunge isn't the vibe where you go all out with the crazy set.
No.
It's just not. You have your instruments, you go out, you play.
But their aesthetic on stage was beautiful and the lighting was good and stuff like that. And like I say, other than the feedback at the start, which deafened me, it was really, like the sound was good, but it was so freaking loud. So loud.
It was very loud.
I came out deaf.
I had my hearing protection in and still came out with a bit of tinnitus, which I don't
bad.
usually if I've had that in.
It was
It
loud.
was very, very loud in there.
But I had a really good time and I would definitely see them again. And if you get the opportunity to see them and you like kind of grungy alternative rock music, then I would definitely recommend giving them a listen and going to see them because they're very good.
They've been announced for download, haven't they?
Have that? Yes, they have. I am very excited by that. I hope they play the day that I go. His voice was incredible. He sounded just like the track.
I mean, they were very accurate to what you hear on their track. If you like the tracks, you'll like them live.
Yeah.
If you like them live, you'll like the tracks because they sound spot on. And there's not a lot of bands that do. I think a lot of bands, because a lot of the tracks are recorded so electronically, when you actually see them, they'll have to do a bit of a twist to actually play it on the instruments. So there's a lot of bands that I will like live, and then I'll go to listen to their recordings and I'll be like...
underwhelming.
Yeah, like, I probably wouldn't choose to put this on.
Yeah.
So it's actually really nice when you see a band that... Don't get me wrong, I love hearing twist on the song, and I love hearing... Like, I'm more likely to like a song live than recorded, which is a conversation I've seen a lot recently, where people that haven't been doing gigs and stuff for a long time are hearing people play a new song live, and then the song gets released and they're like, oh, well, that's nothing like it was live. And everyone who's obviously a bit more experienced is like, well, yeah, it's always going to be better live because it's raw, it's live, like, it's gonna be better. So yeah, it is really good to hear a band that actually, like, you see them and you're like, yeah, that is spot on.
Yeah. They were very accurate to their recordings.
Yeah, like there's no auto-tune going on in there. That is what he sounds like.
Yeah, he was really good. I liked them a lot. Do you have anything else to add on Mouth Culture or?
No, I think that's it. I did really enjoy seeing them. They were a great recommendation from Adam. Yeah, absolutely 10 out of 10 show that.
10 out of 10
really
for
good.
sure. And then a couple of weeks later, we saw the Subways.
That was last week. As we're filming this, it was last week.
There you go. That was at the Institute, the O2 Institute in Birmingham, which is a nice little venue. I like it in there. It was in the small room. Was it the smallest? No, second
Not the
smallest.
smallest. Yeah, it's the middle-sized room. So it's on the ground floor. So just as you walk in, you go down some stairs, and that's it. Because there's the downstairs, then there's the one that's up one flight of stairs, and there's the one that's 2 flights of stairs at the top. So this is the one as you walk in, the doors are straight in front of you.
And it's the first time either of us have seen the Subways.
Yeah, our brother and our dad have been seeing the Subways for years.
10 years.
Years and years and years.
Yeah.
Like, I can remember them seeing them when we were way too young.
It's been probably 10, 15 years since they started going to see them for sure.
Yeah, and our brother did say this one was probably the tamest Subway show they've been to.
Yeah, he said that it's nothing like it usually is. There was way less people. It was way less energetic. He was a bit confused by it because he said that usually the Subways actually literally bounce off the walls and jump into the crowd and all that kind of thing. But he said there just wasn't enough people. It wasn't the vibe there to be doing that. So he was like, you didn't see the Subways the way that I've seen the Subways before, like in their
Maybe if
prime.
they do another tour, we need to do a bit of a travel for them.
But they are getting older now.
They are, but I've seen it said again about so many bands. like there's so many bands not playing Birmingham anymore, and I genuinely think it is because like you look back at the videos. I can't remember who it was. Someone at work was talking about a band that they went to see, and they were really surprised by like the crowd just had like no movement at all. And then they went and looked at the videos from the other cities that they played, and they were like, people were going mental.
Yeah.
Like the crowd looked really active, and then Birmingham's just.
I've experienced it firsthand. Like I've seen Bring Me the Horizon in Birmingham and then gone to see them in Coventry, and it's like watching a different. Sorry,
You
not
mean
Coventry, Cardiff. Yeah.
Just completely opposite directions.
Sorry,
to each other.
I was on Youngblood then for Coventry. I've seen Bring Me the Horizon in Cardiff, and that was completely different to seeing them in Birmingham. It's like watching a different show.
Yeah.
Like the crowd was insane, and it was such a better show. And All Time Low haven't toured in Birmingham in years, like years and years and years. I think it was 2018 the last time they toured in Birmingham, which is 7 years ago. 7 years ago now. And they have came back to the UK, but they haven't done Birmingham. Next year is the first time I'll have seen them since 2018. And that we're travelling for that one. I'm pretty sure we're going to Manchester.
Yeah,
or
I think it's Manchester. You've booked
Cardiff. I think it's Manchester that we decided on. And they're not coming back to Birmingham. And they haven't said why, as far as I'm aware, but it wouldn't surprise me if it's just that Birmingham's just not the one. Like
It does seem to be the way it's going now.
Which is so sad because
It is a shame because there will be so many gigs that I will miss because I can't get time off work to travel and whatnot.
Someone said to me at work, I can't believe you're going on I can't believe you're going to a concert on a Thursday. And I was like, I haven't decided when they're going to play.
Yeah, that's
like,
when they're playing in Birmingham. So
I
that's
don't
when
get
I'm
to
gonna
choose
go.
when they tour. I just have to accept it and book the time off.
Yeah, like if you were in an area where you have to travel regardless, like where bands don't really play, then you would just go for whatever's on a Saturday and travel there, probably.
Yeah.
If you can't get the time off work, but yeah, like whenever they're playing Birmingham is the night I'm gonna go because it's down the road.
Yeah, exactly.
We're not all made money.
No.
So.
Speaking of money, the Subways have a song called "We Don't Have Money, Need Money to Have a Good Time," and it is one of like my iconic childhood like songs. Like if I think of like being kind of, would you say about 8 years old?
Yeah,
I'd
have said sort of 9, 10 maybe.
Yeah, I think about like that time in life. I'd think about like We Don't Need Money to Have a Good Time and Rock and Roll Queen and that kind of thing. So seeing them in and seeing them in like live in person for the first time really kind of healed that inner child of me that I didn't realise I didn't realise I needed it, but I did. Like it really like felt full circle moment for me to actually finally see them. And it's never someone that I've tried to see and then like not got tickets for or something. It's just someone I never thought about because my dad and John would always go on their own.
Yeah.
That I never thought about even asking. But you said to me, didn't you, earlier this year, do you want to come and see the Subways? And I was like, actually, yeah. I really would.
Because they played in Birmingham not all that long ago. They played because we stood by the Subways poster outside at the end of Party 101.
Yes.
Last year, I believe that was. But we didn't go to that one. I don't know why we didn't go to that one. If we'd just already got so much booked, maybe, because it was a very busy time. It could have clashed,
or yeah.
So I know that they have played even in the recent years that we could have, and we just didn't for one reason or another. So it was nice to finally go and see them and see the vibes.
Yeah, it was really good. Their performance was good. The crowd was Birmingham, so meh. But their performance was 10 out of 10. As were their support. Do you remember the name? I wrote it down.
Which one? There was Blush Puppy first.
The second one with
the Meths.
The Meths, yes.
They were really good. That was the kind of music that
I wrote some notes, I think.
I would not put on. Like, I wouldn't listen to that. Like, I wouldn't get in my car and go, yeah, I'm going to put that on. It's very, very punk. But it's the kind of thing I really do like to see live. I love to see the passion. And I do love the vibe. It's just not the kind of thing that I'm going to put on, like, while I'm washing up.
Yeah, I agree. Like, it was so good to go and see live and like really feel her singing, really feel them singing. But it's not something that I'd ever choose to put on. They were very, very punk, very punk. Like, if you think Sex Pistols original like punk music, like they were really
Rock
hardcore.
punk.
Like, what's the word I'm after?
It's like political punk, isn't it?
Yes, huge,
Like I
hugely.
said at the time, I loved her shirt. What did it say now? It
Will
said,
be less.
"We'll be less activist. We'll be less activist if you be less."
Yeah.
And I thought that was brilliant.
They were iconic.
Yeah.
They were only a two-piece. Sorry, I wrote some notes about them here so that I didn't forget to talk about it. But they were only a two-piece, but their sound was huge. Like, it didn't feel like they were missing anything.
Yeah, no, they were really good because you had the guy on the drums, and then she was vocals and guitar.
Yeah. And I don't know if they had like a track as well doing bass or whatever, but it didn't sound like it. It sounded
sounded like it was all
just
live.
them. And the whole set and sound just felt so full, like fuller than some five-piece bands that I've seen, like, and they've got obviously everyone playing the instruments, but it was really good.
There was a lot to be said for their musical talent. They were really good.
They were amazing. The only other thing I have written down as a key word is charisma, because my God, did she have charisma?
Yeah, she oozed charisma.
I couldn't even explain to you how she was. She was just so bouncy, so around stage. She had her own little quirks. While she was like rocking out or whatever.
She just had her things, didn't she? Like,
Yeah, and you could feel her passion behind her. Just everything about her was so interesting to watch. Like, I absolutely loved watching her. She was just full of charisma.
Great confidence.
The confidence was unreal. You could tell that that's what she was like born to do.
Yeah, she was meant to be doing that. For sure.
Yeah, she absolutely like was having the time of her life, which was so lovely to see. And she got the crowd going. Like, she fulfilled her purpose as support. Like, she really
I
did.
would rather see someone having fun than be an amazing musician. I felt like they were both.
Yeah.
Like, if I had to choose between one or the other, I would genuinely rather watch someone that's not as good but having a great time filling the stage than someone who's incredibly talented but incredibly boring.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, it's true. It's true. It's all about the performance. You're paying to go and see it at the end of the day. If you wanted to just listen, you could just listen at home. But you're going to pay to go and see the experience of the performance. And
for sure.
they were incredible. Really good choice of support. A lot different sound though to the Subways, I'd say, because they were like just pure punk.
I think it's less similar sound and more like similar views. Not views isn't what I'm trying to say. Similar messages. So I think like I feel like the Subways have a few songs that are still quite political. Even such as "We Don't Need Money to Have a Good Time." So I think they're a good support act from the point of view of if you like the Subways for the meaning of their music. They have similar values. That's the word I feel like you're for, I think. If you didn't have similar values, you wouldn't have a band like the Meth supporting you, because their music is all about that. Like, if you didn't agree, you just wouldn't have them. So I think they're bands of similar values and their songs convey similar messages.
Yeah.
It's just that the Meths are a bit more on the nose about it.
Yeah.
Than the Subways are.
I'd say so.
I also loved when he was introducing Mary.
I know, me too. I haven't stopped thinking about it since.
Do you know what, that song actually came on when I had my music on full shuffle too, and I was literally just sat there like, oh, that's so cute. Because he was saying it was when he was like a teenager.
Sorry.
And his mom seemed quite down. She was seeming quite sad, so he wrote this song to cheer her up. And went downstairs and was like, "Mom, I wrote this song for you."
Yeah, it's so sweet. That's so one of my favourite Subway songs too, so it was really nice to see. There was one other that's like a kind of similar feel to it that they didn't play that I absolutely love, which was, it's a little bit more upbeat, but it's called "I Wanna Dance With You." That's the only one that I wish they'd have played that I didn't see, because I absolutely love that song. But they played some that, like, some of my all-time favourites. So Mary is one of them. With You is one of my favourites, and Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. Those three, and then obviously We Don't Need Money, Rock and Roll Queen, they're classics, but those three other ones that I feel like are less known are some of my ultimate favourites. I absolutely love those. So I'm so glad I got to see them, and it healed my inner child. A really good performance, really good.
Yeah, they were really good, and it was nice to finally see the Charlotte kicks in person.
Yes, yeah.
And her shoes. I sound like a
Iconic.
proper girl right now, but I spent half the show looking at her shoes because they were absolutely stunning. There was one thing, talking about Mary, which I think I actually mentioned a couple of episodes back. About
yes,
artists.
I was gonna. That's the point that I was trying to think of just now.
Artists that have said, like, when they come to play in the song that made them famous when they were way younger, and they're like, I have to bring it down a key, like I can't sing like they can sing like that, but not when they're doing a 2-hour show, and they're just like, it's gonna kill my voice, or especially if they're ill, they'll bring it down. So it was actually, I think it was originally Kelly Clarkson I saw talking about that with someone that she had on her show. And he actually said that with Mary, so he only sang the verses because he was like, I can't sing the chorus to that anymore. But he did join in on the last chorus.
It was good.
But I love that even though he's like, I can't sing it, they'll still play it for the crowd to enjoy, because it's clearly a very popular song.
So we just asked for help at the start.
So I love that they will accommodate what they know the crowd want.
Yeah, definitely, because he was like, this one is like really special to me, and it's one that we always play, and it's one that I like wrote a really long time ago, so please help me sing it, because I really can't sing like that these days. So that was really sweet of him. And you know what, little conversation in between songs like that make you feel like they're being really genuine with you and really honest, really, really, really changed my outlook on like the band and the performance and the show, because it feels so much more personal when they share things like that with you. Like, it was just beautiful. It was a really nice show.
It just adds so much extra meaning to songs that already mean a lot.
Yeah.
Makes it seem just that extra bit magical.
Definitely. But those two artists that I feel like I like have really ticked now. Like I really enjoyed seeing them. Both artists that I hadn't seen full sets of before, which I feel like I always say we don't usually see artists for the first time anymore, because we rewatch a lot of bands. But actually, I feel like this year we have watched a lot of people that we hadn't before, and last year, like there was a good few last year. Last year was
a lot of bands that we have known for a long time
and never watched
and never got to see because we were too young or whatever, or too broke. Different circumstances. I feel like this year we've had a bit of a mix of both, but it's been a lot of new bands. Not that we haven't seen before, but we've been listening for years, but a lot of new bands that we've discovered as well.
Yeah, definitely.
So it's been really nice to see bands that we hadn't even heard before, and then we've been like, oh, let's just go.
Yeah, definitely.
Just discovered this band, they're playing, let's go.
Definitely, nice and fresh. And if you wanted to see any of the footage of any of the gigs, I post them all over on our highlights on our Instagram page, which is just Gig and Tell. If you search Gig and Tell, you'll find our page. And I've done little highlight reels of all like the kind of performances we've gone to see. So there's one for Mouth Culture and one for the Subways and one for everyone that we've seen. So if you do want to go over and check out any of the videos of the shows, it's all over there on our Instagram. I will address now as well, actually, that we've been saying since we started the podcast that we're going to do an episode on Benson Boone, and he did actually cancel his show. We got there and he cancelled his performance. So we will not be doing an episode on Benson Boone, at least not yet, because he has said he'll reschedule.
It's supposed to be being rescheduled. We'll see if it happens. But...
So you may get that, you may not, but just in case anyone had picked up on the fact I'd spoken about us seeing Benson a couple of times, it's not happening, which I'm so sad about.
We had the tickets for Birmingham, so...
Yeah. Thank you very much for watching. I think that just about wraps up this episode, so we will see you next Thursday with a brand new one. Bye!